Viewer discretion is advised.
Talking Gotham, 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 talking Gotham.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's ready for Talking Gotham episode 16? Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam. Welcome, thank you all so much for tuning in. And this week, this season continues to be very good indeed, with that last episode we're going to talk about having one of the endings that made my jaw drop to the ground. But we'll get to that. First up from 3D Movie Cinema is Jacob Collins. Jacob, how are you?
Fuck Apple. I'm doing well.
He's got a bone to pick with Apple, so he's in a bit of a mood tonight. Like, just add it to his Sheldon Cooper length enemies list.
I had like a bad experience today with Apple.
StreamYard, Apple, Diablo, Cody, like just the list goes on.
The list. I'm growing literally. I'm getting my enemies list, so that way when I'm in charge, everybody's gonna pay. That's the way. I mean, I got a list I'm making already. Just like, all right, he says, Apple, like Tim Cook, Diablo, Cody. I was like, the CEO of StreamYard, all my enemies.
Matt Wyatt, do you have an enemies list?
Not at the moment, no.
Well, that's a good thing. But let's get into these 3 episodes. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Do the thing. It is greatly appreciated. But let's get crack-a-lackin'. This is season 2, episode 15, called Mad Gray Dawn. Matt?
He's reopened the investigation. You are now the primary suspect in the murder of Theo Galavan. You know me.
I know that something went down between you and Galavan.
What am I missing? I was set up! That bad stuff you told me about Jim Gordon is really paying off. You have a father, a family. Is this a dream? Not a dream, my boy. You're home.
This episode aired on March 21st, 2016. So this is probably around the time when BVS came out in theaters at the time.
I thought it would be 2015. I was so wrong.
No, this is 2016 now. So upon being released from Arkham Asylum when his violent nature is cured, Cobblepot visits the grave of his deceased mother. There, he crosses paths with Elijah Van Dahl, which is the same actor who played Pee Wee Herman. Now he's reprising the same role in from Batman Returns.
Oh, so funny! I forgot to laugh.
Let's hope he doesn't throw him in the sewer.
Yeah, let's hope that. After informing Dahl that he and his son of Gertrude, Cobblepot, Dahl reveals that he and his Cobblepot's father, Dahl had an affair with Gertrude for decades in the past, but the two were separated by Dahl's disapproving family. Dahl welcomes Cobblepot into his family. Paranoid that Gordon suspects him of killing Chris Kringle, Nigma disguises himself and begins a series of crimes that involve brain teasers. As Gordon begins solving these crimes, Nigma kills a member of the GCPD strike force, informs the GCPD that Gordon killed Galavan while pretending to be said officer, and frames Gordon for the murder. Believing Gordon murdered the officer to keep him from testifying, the GCPD arrests Gordon. After a trial, Gordon is found guilty and sentenced to Blackgate Penitentiary. Selena teaches Bruce how to survive on the streets as they steal money from Butch's nephew, with Bruce making a massive beating from the nephew. In the process, Barbara wakes up from her catatonic state in Arkham Asylum, which I fucking hate Barbara. She keeps fucking coming back to this fucking goddamn shit.
I always come back.
Like Chuck says, I always come back.
But dying is a bitch.
Every time she keeps coming back, when we forget all about her, she keeps just when she thought she was out, they keep pulling her back in.
Oh wait, there's something
live
that
with your
happens later.
failure, and where
on, like,
did it lead you right
season.
back to me?
You'll be like, what?
But I will say that even though wasn't like the crazy with this episode, I think that was very ironic that they had Paul Rubens, who reprised the role as the same for Cobblepot's father for Batman Returns. I was like, that has to be the same guy. I was like, God damn.
Yep.
I didn't know that they were able to get him for this role.
Yeah.
Very
wouldn't it be
famous.
crazy if Danny DeVito was the dad?
Oh,
that would have been interesting because he was still doing he's still doing television on Always Sunny, so it wouldn't surprise me if they were able to get him that role.
I liked it just for because in Batman Returns he plays the snooty dad who's like, yeah, we're getting rid of this kid, and then sure enough he plays a snooty rich guy but takes him in. I like the spirit.
He's the one that actually takes him in with welcome for open arms.
Yeah,
the rest of his family is a bit of a different story.
Yeah, because I think that's going to be the next episode. We'll touch on it, but anyway, what you brought up last week, Jake, that you think that this episode is supposed to be like a Die Hard with a Vengeance episode, where Nigma just pulls off this whole scheme of framing Gordon and trying to ruin everything and get his little payback. Well, not really payback, but it's really just about him get him off his trail because he's the one who's suspecting the murder of Kris Kringle. So he has to frame him for the murder from one of the GCPD member, and also trying to get him to confess to the crime from Gallivant's murder.
He does literally. He says, "Oh, I have a trap," which that was the decoy. Then the train station is where the real bomb is. I'm like, that literally they took that from Die Hard with a Vengeance, because that real bomb was at the train station.
Yeah,
the only thing that was missing was Simon Says.
Hook, line, and sinker. And then all of a sudden you hear the all of a sudden I always loved it. Man, it makes me want to go watch that movie now, because I watched that last year. It's been years since I've seen it. I was like, oh man, it's so good.
It's very good. There's no business. I mean, really, the only bad Die Hard movie is the last one.
I mean, Die Hard 2 used to be like used to get the stink breath, but like even Die Hard 2 is like miles better than Die Hard.
It is miles better, but I will say that we can arguably say that Die Hard 2 is the most forgettable Die Hard movie.
Yeah.
Nobody cares to talk about that. It was like, yeah, it was fine. It was a fun little sequel, but not a movie I would watch.
They hijacked an airport strip. Wow, what the freaking do?
On Christmas.
Which ironically, none of the Die Hard movies, with the exception of the last one, was meant to be a Die Hard movie. All of them were original scripts that were turned into Die Hard movies. Like the third one was a movie called Simon Says that was turned into a Die Hard movie. The fourth one was like a computer virus movie that was turned.
Yeah, it was a cyber terrorist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm an unapologetic that I fucking love that Live Free or Die Hard. I don't care. I thought that movie was awesome.
I used to hate it, but then after watching 5, I'm like, 4 is that much better.
I saw it in theaters, and because I saw it in theaters, and I've seen it the most. I could probably quote that movie from memory.
Yeah, because that was my first. No, I did see Die Hard, the original one, when I was very young, growing up, and I saw it on TV, and then years later, when I found out that they were going to do a Die Hard, Live Free or Die Hard, a fourth movie, and I saw that in theaters back in 2007, and I loved it, and I watched it multiple times, and I still love it to this day. And I had a chance to see the re-release of the original Die Hard in theaters in Dolby Cinema with an audience, and that was a breath of fresh air to see that, and the experience was awesome to watch the original Die Hard on the big screen.
I still love in the movie where Alan Rickman, whenever he sees like the woman stares at the picture, he says, "Well, we meet again, Mrs. McClane." Then he goes in and slides across the room and goes,
"Well, we meet again, Mr. McClane."
And then he runs in and slides over and just does a little slide and goes, "Bam, bam." I just like, that's so great. I love Alan Rickman.
Badass.
I was like, man, actually, you know what? We need to do a Die Hard one day. Do a Die Hard movie watch party.
Yeah, we should do all the Die Hard, even the worst abomination out of all of them with Jai Courtney.
I mean, Christmas time is coming up, so
the first 2 are Christmas movies. To be fair,
I still will say the first one's not a Christmas movie. Go fuck yourself if you disagree on that.
You what?
What it is?
It is nothing. It has nothing to do with Christmas. It just happens to take place on Christmas.
Ryan.
I don't give a fuck if they labeled it as a Christmas movie.
If you replace the Christmas with any other thing, it's still the same event still happen.
Okay, well, when we do hard talk, we'll get around to that.
Hard talk. Let me
hard talk. That sounds like a fucking Pornhub site. Hard talk.
Hard Talk.
If Pornhub had a podcast and a Hard Talk edition.
I'm gonna get Dave to make an intro. I'm saying make it like porn music playing, like
Well, one thing that dang it, I lost my train of thought for the first time today. One thing that I wanted to hammer home, this 3-episode arc is basically the birth of the Riddler as we know him. This is basically the Riddler show. And that's kind of the reason why I'm giving these episodes a higher grade than I normally would.
He's so good in these episodes.
But the Prisoners episode, he's not even in it. He's not even in that episode. You forgot all about Enigma. This was more Gordon-centric, being in the prison for several weeks and trying to.
Second episode, he has a small.
But he's hardly in that episode. He's hardly in it. It didn't really revolve around Enigma.
He's at least in it though,
for a brief moment.
But I will say, I do have some notes about this episode that I liked. I do like Ed doing a bomb scare just to rob the museum and put a question mark on the painting. I thought that was great. That's something the Riddler would do.
Yeah.
And then the bomb.
He's basically leaving his calling card.
Mm-hmm. Which that bomb was meant to kill Gordon. The bomb was meant to kill him. But then he said he had to improvise whenever the bomb did not kill him. He's like, because Ed had two plans: frame Gordon or kill Gordon. He was hoping to kill Gordon, but then he said framing Gordon was an easier option. Because they're still going to be looking for the bomber, if that would have been the case. Which Gordon, and then I do like Penguin going to see Ed and him telling him and then Ed's like, I'm embracing who I am. And Oswald is freaking him out. He said, "You need to leave." He's like,
"What was all that? What was all that bird feather over him? What the fuck did they do to him?"
Man, yeah, because remember he went and saw Butch, which I'm like,
they punish him, but what the hell did they do to him?
Well, they couldn't scar him physically, so they're like, "We're just gonna cover him. We're gonna throw him in the chicken coops or something."
Y'all remember in the original Home Alone when Harry runs
what the hell? You dressed like a chicken.
Runs into the plastic wrap.
What the hell are you taking your shoes off? What the hell you dressed like a chicken?
That's probably.
He was literally dressing up as Marv from Harry from fucking Home Alone. I think that was on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The elderly people at my job, they love every year around Christmas watching Home Alone. There's this old man who has dementia. He's like, he every time laughs at Home Alone 1. Watch that first two. He goes, oh. Every time the traps happen, he goes, oh. He loves it. And I had to one year watch Home Alone over 100 times that week because I'm like, I've seen that movie. I'm like, oh.
Add it to the enemies list. Home Alone.
I don't hate Home Alone. I'm like, which I was like, man, there's other.
But it gets irritating when you overplay the same movie. Then you're like,
oh
god,
I would rather.
I hate when that happens because I'm guilty of it. Because back then when I was young, I used to overplay the same movie over and over again. Like I'm guilty of that.
I remember when I used to work at my local movie theater. You would work in the lobby, and we had TVs. There would be like trailers and commercials and other things. There was a PSA for something. It was like one of those like pass it on, like it was a PSA, and it was a remixed version of the "Tell me what you want, what you really, really want." So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna, like that song.
The Spice Girls.
Yeah, and it played 100 times a day, and so I can never hear that song again without going. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure the Spice Girls are a good band, but
this should be like the prison torture and
come on, they gotta spice up your life, Ryan.
They'll put you in a fucking cell hold in a dark room and play that song. Tell me what you want, what you really want. Give you the mindless torture of all time. That'll be your punishment. Or here's another punishment to make you watch the certain movie, watching Twilight over and over again 100 times.
Oh boy.
Death is awesome. I just want to point that out.
What?
But I will say this: there's a couple of years back after COVID, but during COVID, George Clooney was doing an Omaze thing, and he did like a comedy skit with this guy where he says, "I've been staying in this room." He says, "Hi, I'm George Clooney." After he said, "If you donate Omaze after COVID lockdown is ended, you can come have dinner with me," just like my roommate Byron. And it's like this black guy who was like, "You would think having George Clooney as your roommate would be awesome, but no, he's a nightmare." literally, he just come because he on Craigslist because he's like to get a Batman or Robin figure. And then George is like, yeah, see this Batman or Robin figure? Yeah, see, but the only thing is not really adequate because you don't see the nipples on it, you know. And George is like, and then he has like he says, also he took over my spare bedroom, and then it's like nothing but Brad Pitt mural. It's a Brad Pitt mural. He said, hey, don't stand on Brad Pitt. That's Brad's face. Come on. And then he says, you would think, he said, we watched the same movie over and over again, Ocean's 11, all day, night. And he's like, he's going through this. We only have 3 George Clooney movies. We only have 3 movies, and they're all-star George Clooney. We have Batman and Robin, Ocean's 11, and Ocean's 12. And he goes, which one do you want to watch tonight? He says, Ocean's 11 again? He goes, George, we've seen the same movie over 100 times. I have seen this movie. You do audio commentary in person to the movie. And he goes, you want to watch Batman and Robin then? All right, fine. Put Ocean's 11 on again. So I started laughing. Said, all right, put Ocean's 11 on again. And then he's just like, Brad Pitt burps. And he goes, see? Classic. Brad improvised the burp.
Well, speaking of George Clooney, I rewatched From Dusk Till Dawn, and I still fucking love that movie. Even because this is a horror month. So yeah, it was one of them. It's one of those movies that I watch every multiple times once a year.
But going back, you getting sidetracked.
What were we talking about again?
Oh, but anyway, about the Gotham, yeah, I do like the Penguin sticking up. You know, going to see Ed, and Ed's like, I don't want you here now, so you got to go. And then of course Ed's like, I'm really embracing who I am now, Oswald. You're kind of freaking me out, so I need you to leave. And then he just leaves. I'm like, really? I was like, also Bruce sticking up for Selena, being heroic, like whenever they get, you know, I thought that was pretty great where he takes a beating. It kind of reminds me.
I was wondering who that guy. I was wondering who they're fucking robbing.
It was Butch's cousin.
Yeah, so it was Butch's cousin. They had full of mushrooms that got that fucker high. Why would you keep a fucking coffee can full of money while you're fucking stoned out of your mind and people can rob your ass? I thought that scene was kind of dumb to me. I was like, who does that? You got an incompetent who doesn't know how to keep track of that money in the safe.
That's why he said, go ahead. And he said, I'll just tell Butch like how it was so easy for me to steal that. And then that's when he was like, yeah, we're not going to let you go. He says that easy. And also, yeah, I do like that he beat Bruce up. Bruce was just taking it. You know, it kind of reminds me of I don't know if you remember that there's this old Batman Arkham Origins TV spot where, you know, that's the one where the gunshot, where you see him with the pearls, where he's like this, where he sees the parent, you know, you hear a gunshot, then you see his funeral, you hear a gunshot, and then you see him in the yard getting beat up by the kids, and then you hear a gunshot, then you see him on a karate mat as a teenager. Then you hear a gunshot again. Then he's in the League of Shadows.
When they did the Arkham Origins promo. I don't know if you've seen the trailer, Ryan. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I put it in one of the previous episodes.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch the edited version. Fuck, I forgot you put that in there. So yeah,
you don't watch it, Matt? Come on.
Yeah, like you watch your own shit.
No, I don't watch any of my stuff.
Exactly.
But I will say I will say just like it reminded me of that scene where Bruce is getting in the TV spot for Arkham Horror when he's getting in that fight.
Yeah, you're seeing the transformation for the moment that his parents were murdered. Then you see him get like the funeral. Then you see the schoolyard beating. Then you see him getting in the training with the monks and in his fighting sequence. And then you see him as Batman, beats the criminals, and then just. Like that was a fucking great transition from different timelines in that Arkham Origins. That was fucking amazing. But I do agree that he was able to take a beating and then he's learning everything from what Alfred had taught him in the fight. And then he was able to fight back. And that moment when he tells Selena is like, yeah, I do not feel anymore. And taking a beating made me feel alive.
He's embracing the Batman side of him.
He's conquering his fear, basically.
I do like that Ed framing Gordon as the Riddler. I thought that was great. You know him because literally this is what he does. He literally goes to meet the officer and he's like, "Oh, Gordon's right behind." He says, "Hey, can I come?" He said, "Can I get you to sign this?" And they said, "Yeah, it's just old documents." And then of course he goes to see him at his apartment. He goes, "Oh, Gordon's right behind me." And then all of a sudden he just goes, "What is this about?" And he hits with a crowbar, and then he goes, "Oh," he goes, "You're still alive." He just keeps hitting him with Kamar, and then
He throws a temper tantrum that he felt. He went out Kylo Ren style.
Also, why would Gordon go? The only thing they have some issues. Like, why would Gordon go back when Butch? Why would this was about Penguin? Why would Penguin go back to Butch and them when he betrayed Butch and cut off his hand?
Yeah, that was the one scene that I always keeps bug me every goddamn time. Every time he fucks up and someone takes over and they got the balls on him and now he's just gonna be begging for forgiveness. It happens every goddamn time with the Penguin. How is he not dead already? Well, we know that they're not gonna kill him off
he's
at
a
that
weasel.
point. Because he's just another rogues gallery that they're going to keep him alive on the show, but they're always going to try to find excuses to work around it and resolve the issue from his fuck up and try to beg for forgiveness. Because he's a fucking weasel. He's an opportunist.
I don't like him being a whoop dog.
I kind of hate when they keep constantly doing that. I kind of hate when they keep repeatedly.
I like when he's a badass. I hate when Penguin's like a whoop dog.
Oh my god, please forgive me. I'll do it. They do that every goddamn time, and I'm so irritated. Like, what the fuck is the writers doing?
It's like they're trying to keep him interesting, but at the same time, they're not making him
Once when he's a badass, and then when he gets beaten into and he's down on his knees and ready to go down on them just to beg for forgiveness, for fuck's sake. Like, give me a break.
All right, but wouldn't Gordon have seen Ed at the train station, because he was right, like from here to here, like right from that mirror.
Yeah, he did not. He was not able to catch him getting in that crowbar.
Like, what are you doing here? Like, instead, he was just like
I'm just surprised that Gordon didn't put two and two together at that moment when that crowbar has fingerprints all over it from the murder in the murder scene, and it was on the top of that locker, and he was literally right behind Nigma. So how did he not catch him?
Also, and basically, yeah, which also wouldn't Harvey back up his story too? Because he tells Harvey on the phone. Harvey tells him the address. He goes, "All right, I'll be there." And then he goes to that address and he says, "Oh, Harvey, but they didn't have the case file." But yet Harvey's still alive and kicking. Harvey, all he gotta say, "Yeah, I read the case file too." So literally, two cops are lying when there isn't, like, saying that there was no case file.
Oh yeah, someone replaced the fucking case files. Like, Nigma took the fucking case files from Harvey when he left his desk.
But I'm like, I would say
that's kind of a little strange. Like, Harvey. Oh yeah, two people lying. Like, no, Harvey was there to vouch for him and back him up. That story.
Yeah, that made no sense to me. I'm like, why?
And yet Barnes just still was not able to believe it. I mean, I don't know. I'm lost here.
I understand he doesn't trust Gordon right now because of the whole Gallivant. I know.
Yeah, he still has a lot of big trust. He's letting his anger and his emotions get into the way of it, because now he has a hard time trusting Gordon because he's not being straight up honest with him with the Gallivant.
And also, I don't like whenever he goes, "I was set off." I was like, okay, ease it.
Overacted. You know what that happens in Gotham show. Moment when they try to fucking.
I was set off.
They have to overact. It's like, to calm down, tone it down there, Stamos.
I mean, also, like, yeah. Especially whenever this is like whenever it almost felt like they're about to laugh whenever she's like, "Oh, Jim, come on!" Like whenever Lee is there and she's like, "Jim, we gotta figure this out," and everything goes, "You have to leave. You have to go." And I'm just like, "Okay,
you have to go."
All right, both of you. I don't know who's directing this episode, but you're acting shit in this episode.
The acting is so bad. That was so bad. That was a poor line delivery I've ever seen. Like, they are trying to be so emotional.
I'm just pointing this out. Ben is not a bad actor. They're not bad in the show. Just this scene.
It was not the best line delivery. Like, whoever directed this episode did a poor job of trying to get the performance out of them.
I'm leaving you, Jim. The Deadpool shoot starts very soon.
Also, she was.
That movie came out like around that time when Deadpool came out.
Also, she was pregnant in real life. Like, apparently.
Yeah, she was having a kid. Yeah, that was true.
Yeah, he was the father, ironically, as well.
Yeah, and they wanted to use that for the writing.
Yeah, and then it goes nowhere later. We find out next week it goes nowhere.
You find out what happens next week.
There's like, we're not ready for Barbara Gordon yet.
No, not yet.
Which I will say, yeah, and I do like that Gordon going to prison at the end of Blackgate Prison. I thought that was great. I was like, all right. You know, if I was the better writer, I would have said, oh, let's make him go to Arkham Asylum.
Well, because the last season he did go to Arkham Asylum as a security guard, but now that whenever shit hits the fan in his career, went down the toilet, he ends up in another prison, which is a Blackgate prison, the penitentiary, as a prisoner. So it seems that they are doing kind of doing the 2.0 thing.
what I will say, this season has been crazy. Like we're not even 3/4 in, and like Gordon's been fired, rehired, he's been demoted, promoted, and now
Yeah, again, he got demoted again. And in this season,
and now he's in jail, and we're gonna find out what happens to him next.
It will only last one episode of him being in jail. Well, even though he's been in jail for several weeks, time jumps.
Like I said, I like this show quite a bit, but like as soon as I see him walk into the jail, I'm like, huh, I bet you this won't last a single episode. And I was right.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Even though I was very turned off by the later seasons in the Arrowverse, I will say when Oliver went to prison, spoiler alert if you have not fucking watched the show,
for a good half of the first season.
For a good half of the first half of that season. At least it didn't get resolved in one episode.
Yeah, which I will say it got repetitive after a while. So I'm like, when is it?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It then kind of got drawn out a little too long.
Okay, now they're doing a team up.
And they did the same. And then Barry did the same thing too. Barry did literally the same fucking thing.
Like which
reheating their own nachos. I see.
That was good. Okay, Ryan. Earlier you asked me of who's enemies on my list. I'm gonna say fucking HBO Max for taking off a fucking Gotham, and then they can go fuck themselves, fucker. Yeah. You made me pay nearly $30 for this fucking season, you pieces of shit. Fuck you, HBO Max, for taking that off.
Wait until you get to that.
That's my number one. That's my number one on the shit list. I love you, HBO Max, but go fuck yourself for doing that.
They're gonna be on your shit list again in a couple of weeks when you gotta get season 3.
I'm going to send it to scores before there's a fight in here. Collins 1-10.
How's he getting mad? No,
we're not fighting. We're in a sabbatical here.
How's he going to be mad on that?
I'm saying you're going to fight each other. I'm just saying, like, you're going to, like, punch your Spider-Man poster, Matt. Like, Collins, you're going to turn over that mirror behind you. Like, I may start ripping these,
it's
like,
bolted
things
to the wall. How am I going to turn it? It's bolted to the wall. It came with the house.
In the words of Archimedes, with a lever and a pulley, you can move the earth.
Well, you see look at what happened whenever to Napoleon after he lost the battle. He got burned.
But destiny brought him to this lamb chop. What's your score?
He didn't really destine to him. He literally his own stupidity. Whenever because he's like, I got to get back in power. Josephine's dead. I got to get back into power. Right. Oh, and then he gets his ass whooped on the field because he's just like he's so obsessed with pussy that he's like,
What is your score, you muggle?
Okay, all right, you mudblood. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna say an 8 out of 10.
Okay, Matt.
I'm gonna say a 7.
I'm with Collins. I'm going 8 as well. It's my weakest of the 3, but I still greatly enjoyed it, and it gets better from here. And we're going into Season 2, Episode 16, called Rita Hayworth and Shawshank. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm on the wrong IMDb page. Here we go. Season 2, Episode 16, called Prisoners. No, not the Phil Nove movie. No.
I was literally going to fucking say that. Thank you for stealing that, Ryan.
Me insert a certain clip from Prisoners here.
Paul Dano is going to be beaten by the kitchen. They're going to be in the bathroom beating Paul Dano with a hammer. It's like, oh!
Where's my daughter? Where's my fucking daughter?
You're a fighter, Jim. Don't let this beat you.
Be ready.
For what?
Just be ready.
You are my only true blood relative.
He's a notorious killer. We could have all been raped and murdered in our beds.
Raped and murdered. Whatever you've got planned for the old man, I want in.
The episode aired on March 28th, 2016. Gordon is adjusting to life in Blackgate Penitentiary. Warden Carlson Gray, which is a ripoff character from the Shawshank Redemption, announces that Gordon will be transferred to the Gin Pop Quarter dubbed The World's End. And it's not The World's End from fucking from that movie, Edgar Wright movie. Part of Gray's plan. And yeah, with not alien robots. Part of Gray's plan to kill Gordon. He is constantly aided by guard Wilson Bishop. Bullock tells Gordon that Lee has lost their baby and left town. Later, Gordon is defended from attackers by convict Peter Puck Davis, who is beaten and sent to the infirmary in an attempt to save Gordon. Bullock meets with Falcone. The return of Falcone has come back after last season. Gordon's death is staged, and he and Puck escape. Puck dies from his injuries, while Gordon is given a safe house so he can clear his name and find Lee. Meanwhile, Cobblepot reveals his criminal past to Dahl, who forgives him. Dahl is told by the doctor that his heart defect is infected and that he has a little time to live. Upset that Cobblepot may receive what they perceive to be their inheritance, Dahl's wife, Grace, and her children, Sasha and Charles, poison a drink for Cobblepot to ingest. However, Dahl drinks from the bottle and dies after stating to Cobblepot his intentions of changing his will in favor of him. This was basically a Shawshank Redemption meets Cruel Intentions episode.
Yes.
With a little bit of Knives Out.
With a little bit of Knives Out before Knives Out was even a thing.
Because literally Chris Evans poisons the syringes, but then she gives him the right dosage.
Yeah, he gives him the right dosage and then kills himself for no reason.
And yet this whole thing was better than the entirety of Knives Out. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time.
What?
You're fuck.
Knives Out is vastly overrated. Its sequel, too, is not that
Fuck
great.
you, Ryan.
That movie was a fucking peak. I love Knives Out.
I will say Glass Onion is overrated. I 100%.
I didn't hate. I'm one of the people that really enjoyed Glass
Knives
Onion.
Out, Glass Onion.
And then Wake Up Dead Man, which is going to be The Basement. But there we go.
What the fuck?
Ryan's like, fuck you, Brian Johnson. Fuck you.
He really has a beef with Brian Johnson.
Ryan's like, he never let Last Jedi. He's like, I don't give a fuck if he makes a movie that's awesome.
No, like really,
Last Jedi,
Jedi has a lot of problems, but honestly, like Johnson was like one of the ones like I have a lot of problems with that movie, but I think that Ryan Johnson can be good. Like I saw Looper, I love Looper quite a bit, but Knives Out Knives Out did nothing for me, and like Glass Onion did even more nothing for me. Like you get it,
I agree with the Glass Onion.
Dave Bautista is Andrew Tate. How revolutionary! But anyway, like we were alluding to, this is basically Shawshank, and like the Warden is just as bad. Like he's like he reminded me so much of like not just Bob Gunton, but also like the Warden from The Longest Yard. Matt, you remember that one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But Adam Sandler's Longest Yard. No, because they literally played off the same stereotype of Warden, who is a murderous bastard and get away with anything. That started off with Shawshank Redemption. Then The Longest Yard did the same thing, and now they're doing the same thing with Gotham. This is literally a blatant ripoff from Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, and even back to The Longest Yard with the whole like paying off like certain prisoners to be like moles for him. And this Warden is like, oh, by the way, Commissioner Loeb sends his regards. They're like, oh boy, this is not going to be good, and it is not. And then you get the whole thing with what was his name? Puck. I didn't like this. Like this was the part of the episode I was not a fan. And I'm like, I'm gonna fight for this guy that I just met.
That was the dumbest fucking part of that episode that I hated. That was a dumb. Why? I don't know you, bro.
He looked like, and you are married to who? Like, you look like the fifth member of One Direction. Like, what are we doing?
That's so true. Are you gonna bust out singing?
But yeah, like, and then he died. Then he dies.
You look like Harry Styles' cousin.
He dies at the end after like they do all this stuff to like break him out, but then he dies at the end, and I'm just like. And
I was like, I don't care. Yeah, tragedy. Ooh.
But one thing I will say, get yourself a friend who is like Harvey Bullock, because he breaks his back trying to help Gordon in every single conceivable way. Even, and we might as well just address this now, guess who's back again? Carmine Falcone is back for a couple scenes, but he's back.
I thought that was cool that they actually brought Falcone back for one little favor that he wanted to do for Gordon.
Yes.
Even though that fucking Bullock broke a lot of law to break him out of prison, doing a prison break staged.
Absolutely. And then you got the one prison guard. I like him. Winston Bishop, I think is his name, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Winston Bishop.
I thought he was cool. He had a line at the end I really liked where he whacks the warden over the head and he's like, man, that felt good. And then he does the thing from John Wick Chapter 3 where the doctor forces John Wick to shoot him to like mask his getaway and be like,
Yeah,
just
the stage a getaway, yeah.
hit me good, just don't hit the teeth. I just have to say.
Yeah, God, I'm so fucking like annoyed by this Cobblepot storyline with the fucking family. I fucking hate this shit so much. It was so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like the family, they're so predictable that the whole fucking family is trying to get his inheritance. They're so trying. They're so obvious.
Yeah, it really was. And just like they just had looks. Like they had the look of just being like seedy and like low down. Like they just looked off. And there was like the kind of a throwaway scene where I think the sister tries to nap
Yeah.
on
The sister's trying to make the move on his biological brother. You're trying to fuck your brother, dude.
and then
He's like, oh my god, we're practically brother and sister. No shit. Are you trying to pull all that cruel intention shit?
and then she walks down the stairs to see them. He's like, didn't work. And then the brother's like, can I try? I'm like,
Can I try? I was like,
I don't know.
Fucking... There's a
Sir,
lot of there's an incest element in this episode that they went fucking bold. Like they watched Cruel Intentions and feel like we can do this.
Sir,
Like,
I
dude,
don't
this
know
is disgusting. You're my sister, not another teen movie.
I don't know what television network you think you're on, but it's not flying on this one. I'll tell you what.
You know what's funny about that is like I was sitting there like when you were saying about the family. It just reminds me. There's a movie I don't know if you've seen in the '90s, starred Jennifer Love Hewitt and Sigourney Weaver called I think it's called Heartbreakers.
I think I might have seen it.
Heard of it?
Maybe.
It's like a mom and daughter that are con artists that just go around trying to con men. And Gene Hackman, I believe, is in that. Ray Liotta.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen it. I mean, Heartbreaker sounds a familiar title.
It kind of reminded me of that. You know, I will say, I do really. The things I don't like about this episode, Lee losing that baby was dumb. You could have just had Barbara.
Yeah, that was the dumbest
born,
fucking.
no.
Like they wanted to be so dramatic that Bullock breaks the news that she lost the baby.
I think they were going to, but then they're like, well, we would have to age her up eventually because, you know, then it would be like, okay, because you can't have Barbara Gordon be born if Batman's still a child.
Yeah.
Which I think that's why they were probably waiting. I do like Oswald's stepsister. I hated though Oswald's stepsister trying to.
You love the stepsister.
I did not like her. No, I said I did not. I put dislikes. You know, I thought that was like,
I fucking hated that.
The brother was like, "Should I try?"
Yeah, it's like, hey, meanwhile, here's what's going on with the fucked up family with Cobblepot. Like, here's one of the tries to make a move on him, trying to fuck his brother.
Did look good in her like lingerie.
She looked good. She looked hot as shit, but she tried to fuck her brother.
He's like, he might be simple, and I'm just like, what? I'm like, what? If he's a criminal, you think he's simple? What is he, Forrest Gump or something?
Life this ain't no box of chocolates. You don't know what you're doing.
Or what's he, Sling Blade or something? Like, where he's like, like I was like, I will say I do like Looney Tunes playing in front of the movie. Like,
oh yeah, they did. They played.
Like,
yeah, because it's WB. Because it's part. Even though it's on Fox, but it's WB. So yeah, they're gonna do a little bit of a meta.
My question is, why were they showing the prisoners 7 Brides for 7 Brothers? Like, it's a fine movie and all, but like, surely they've.
You knew that? You seen that movie? I've never even seen that movie.
I was wondering what movie it was.
I was like, what the fuck movie are they playing? I have no knowledge of it. But since Ryan watches a lot of these old fucking movies that not a lot of people watches, of course he's gonna know what it is.
I mean, to be fair, he's actually more literate than we are because he's
probably
watching movies that are supposed to be people watch. We're watching just garbage movies like Morbius and shit. He's actually watching good movies that are classic.
We are not the same.
Yes, he's like watching the literature movies. We're watching garbage movies like Jackass the movie and stuff. Yeah, he's a critic of movies. We're just like pop.
Well, that's not true because I do watch a lot of movies.
Okay, Michael Bay movies do not count as literature movies.
You love the Michael Bay movies, motherfucker.
I love
I hated those. I fucking hate it. You're fucking trying to shit on me for watching Michael Bay movies. I don't even like any of them. Those fucking Transformers sequels.
I do.
Fucking hated those movies.
I fucking love Part 4 and Part. I like all of them except for.
Like, I watch a lot of fucking classic movies. Don't fucking start that shit.
You know, the only time I've ever wanted to watch a classic movie was while watching Joker 2, and then like they were watching a classic movie, and I'm just like, I kind of want to rather watch the classic movie than watch Joker 2. That's what I was there thinking in the theater watching one. I'd rather watch that movie if they would just put that.
I think any of those movies are classic would be better than watching Joker play a Hal Duel.
Yeah. I will say this though. I do like though Bullock trying to fighting to help Gordon. You know, like him trying to fight to help Gordon. You know, he's like trying to he's literally on the phone with Harvey Dent saying, "Look," he said, "you need to see they're going to kill him." You know, and everything. I thought that was really great and everything. And then, of course, you know, Edward, he's like, Edward, you got to believe him, right? He says, well, I don't know. I mean, he committed murder. I mean, evidence is clean and simple. Also, I think Gordon beating up and getting an inmate helping him. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that, you know, Puck helping him. You know, it shows that there are good people out there, you know, in Gotham, not just a shithole. The episode, is basically Shawshank Redemption, and I do like Bullock going to Falcone for help. I thought that was amazing because he's like, "Look, I know you could tell me to go to hell," and I'm like, "Who is he talking to?" And he's like, "Falcone." I'm like, "Oh, I forgot about that." I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah," but he's just basically helping stage the whole prison break.
Which I mean, sometimes it's like Tom Cruise's.
I mean, what did Falcone really do in this episode other than that? Like,
he got his man to shank Gordon in a fake stomach pouch. That way, to fake, he told Gordon to be ready, shake them with a retractable knife to kill him.
One thing I will say is, like, retractable knife, I didn't think it would work. But then we saw blood. So, like, what, was somebody smuggling Jim, like, strawberry jam? Like, to be like,
no, like, he showed them.
Like, under your shirt. It'll come in handy later.
He showed them, like, the thing. He showed them the thing, the packet that the prisoner sprayed on him. Like, he was just. Which, by the way, they believed it, and then Gordon like, and it's like I was like, like I got scared. The cop got scared. It's like, wow. I thought that was great. Whenever one cop got scared, the other cop knocked him out. I thought I do like that one cop was trying to help him because I remember in the Arkham games, there's this one cop that's a good cop called Aaron Cash. He's like always trying to help Batman in the Arkham games. You know, Cash. I always thought he kind of reminded me of Aaron Cash in the Batman Arkham games. As you know, that cop that's trying to help Batman the whole time. I thought that was really reminded me of that, and I like that it shows that there are good people in Gotham, like cops and prisoners that are not just bad people that just sometimes do bad things. You know, Bullet. You know, and also Elijah getting poison that was meant for the Penguin. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden, then she looks at her son. The son knocks the glass thing over, which that is a continuity error because.
That was stupid. That was a dumb fucking scene right there when he just like spills the fucking glass to get rid of the evidence. What?
But then
how did he not spot that shit? It was right in front of you.
You don't figure out the continuity of that. Next episode, it's still there. And remember,
who would be fucking stupid enough to still leave it there?
No, because remember they knock it over, but yet somehow it ends up back in the bottle and in the cabinet. And then
it spilled all over, and somehow there still remains left in that bottle.
I guess they said that, which.
It's super, like to quote pitch meeting. It's going to be super easy, barely inconvenience.
I will say Oswald. How would the warden know about Gordon being alive? Like, to be fair, because he walks in there, he's like, "You're supposed to be dead," and I'm just thinking,
how the hell did he know that?
I was like, because I was like that right there. I mean, like, I guess maybe he didn't believe.
Maybe he just did not buy in this whole death thing. Maybe he thought it was bullshit and knew it was staged.
What he said? Wouldn't the warden know who helped him when he wakes up in the same room as the guy who knocked him out? Because literally, he gets hit in the head by some random person. He knows Gordon didn't hit him outside the head from the back, and then he wakes up and he's right next to the same guy. And he knows the guy has been helping Gordon the whole time. So he's like, that right there would be like, okay. Also, Puck down. They rescue Puck just to rescue him. He dies. He dies. They rescue him. Stupid.
Matt and I already talked about how dumb that was.
That was stupid. His character was such a waste of screen time. They needed to add more dramatic for Gordon losing someone that he likes. even though he only just met him for like an hour.
Yeah, let's go to scores 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Wait,
Okay,
did I give it last one? I'm gonna say 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, you had 8 last time, 8.5 now. Matt?
I'll go 7.5. It was a little bit more better than the last episode, minus the whole fucking shitty subplot with Cobblepot. But other than that, I really enjoyed it.
I'm going to go 8.5. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a little more than the two of you. Just a little bit more. But let's go to our final episode this week. Me put a clip from the Into the Woods movie here because it's season 2, episode 17, called Into the Woods.
Agony beyond power of speech.
And you keep fucking stealing this shit from me. You still steal the shit.
You can't hand me a loaded gun like that and not expect it to go off.
True, yeah.
A nightmare for some, for others, a savior I come, my hands cold and bleak. It's the warm hearts they seek.
The episode of Into the Woods was aired on April 11th, 2016. It's directed by Oz Scott. James Gordon continues to flee the law as he tries to clear his name. When Gordon secretly approaches Nigma for help, he deduces that Nigma framed him. Nigma electrocutes Gordon into an unconsciousness, but Gordon awakes just as Nigma is preparing to stuff him in a car trunk. Car trunk. What the fuck am I saying right now?
A car trunk.
Car trunk. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Car truck coming soon.
Car truck.
Wouldn't that just be a vehicle?
In this reality, we call that a transformer.
Wouldn't a car truck just be called like an SUV?
It would be called a crunk.
Yeah.
An SUV.
It
That's
probably
literally
would've.
a car truck, an SUV.
Yeah, I was like, why the fuck did I say car trunk? What the
Matt's
car
I got
trunk?
an idea, a car truck, and they're like,
I got an idea, motherfuckers. Let me tell you something.
let me tell you something, okay? No one has ever.
Let me tell you something, okay? We're gonna make a car truck. We're gonna make a car that's like a truck.
Yeah, no one's ever come up with it. They say I have the best. Everyone knows.
And guess what? It already got made. It's an SUV.
Hold an SUV. Like they have, right? You go literally buy. It's like, also, sir, don't you have one? I could have swore you have one. Like I see, like 6.
Funny thing is that my parents have an SUV. Ironic
we
is that
literally
shit.
have an SUV as well.
by Toyota. Gordon asks Selena to report to the GCPD. Gordon follows Nigma into the woods, not from the movie Into the Woods, is what fucking Ryan stole earlier, from where he intends to relocate Chris Kringle's body. Nigma admits that he framed Gordon as the GCPD eavesdropped on the conversation. They arrest Nigma before he can kill Gordon. Nigma is placed in Arkham Asylum. Nathan L. Barnes offers Gordon his job back, but Gordon declines as he has the other matters with which to deal. Barbara is released from Arkham Asylum after she stops showing any signs of mental illness. Fuck Barbara, I fucking hate her. Why they're still bringing her back in this shit? Following the death of his father, Cobblepot is bullied by his stepfamily. However, when he discovers evidence that they killed his father, his former self returns and he murders his stepfamily. I was just glad that he murdered his whole stepfamily. I never gave two shits about them. They were just like, please kill them.
In the greatest way possible. Yeah. I'm just going to talk about the ending now because it's amazing. But basically, throughout last episode and this episode, Oswald is taken on as a servant. He's bullied and bullied and bullied and bullied.
They throw food at him. Like food fight him.
Literally, but he can't fight
That was so
back.
Stupid.
Until finally he realizes, like, they poisoned him and I'm going to get him back. And so then like the kids come in and be like, oh, dinner's almost ready. And then like the mom is like eating the roast and she's like, it's overcooked, like going proper Gordon Ramsay on.
I thought he poisoned her with that food.
That's what I thought too. But then she was like, where are the children? And it's like, I don't think they'll be able to hear the bell. And it'd be like, oh, you don't like it, do you? Well, here's Charlie, and he like eats it, and like here's Sasha, and I'm like, oh, he cooked the kids and fed it to her. That's
yeah, he did. How did I miss that part? I did not.
And then
oh my god, he had her eat their family.
And then he picks up the knife and goes full Norman Bates on her, like, oh, it's so good.
And he's just sitting there, after he kills her, he's just sitting at the other end of the table drinking.
Are we not going to talk about when he tested out that was a poison drink and they gave it to the fucking dog and killed the fucking dog? I'm sorry, I don't approve when someone kills dogs. Like, don't kill
the dead dog too after he kills it. I'm just like, oh god.
He laughs at it when the dog just dies. I'm like, you piece of shit. You piece of like, I hate those fucking family, but the dog, you can't kill the dog. Oh, fuck you, Cobblepot.
He is a penguin.
Hassan Piker watched this.
That's
and
true.
Was like, why didn't I think of that? That's gonna make no sense if anyone watches this a month from now. But
oh yeah, he said no. Instead, he was like, "Let me get a shock collar."
Yeah.
Which, by the way, yeah. Not also, yeah. I thought that was, yeah. Especially he's dressed like his old ways. Because remember, he's like all like Oswaldy, and then he's Penguin whenever he does his.
But here's the one thing that kind of bugged me when Gordon got his name cleared. Dude, you seem to forget that you broke out of prison and you're not supposed to be doing that. That's against the law when you try to do a prison break. I don't think they would reinstate you.
He didn't break himself out though. He was broken out by somebody else.
But he still broke out of prison. That doesn't matter. He still broke out. I don't think that in real life that would fly like that. But I know it's Gotham.
You got to go back to prison for charges that you weren't given.
I mean, this episode is basically the Blockbuster Hall is The Fugitive, if you really think about it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Which I will.
You're right. It totally was.
I laugh so hard though whenever they're eating the food at first at the beginning of the episode, and then they're like, they said this food. He said this mother's goulash doesn't taste that good, and then the brothers like, it don't taste that bad to me, and then they're all looking at him like,
she looks at him like, and he spits out the food.
Yeah, it doesn't taste good. I'm like, he was fine. He's like, it don't taste that bad to me.
Yeah, he had no like complaint of that food whatsoever. But then they had to go along with it that his food. They were only doing it just to fuck with him because they want to fuck with him, use it as a fucking slave, a boy toy, just to toy with them around.
I will say though, one thing I liked. I
feel like they're like the evil step family from Cinderella style.
Exactly. Cinderella story. I thought I was thinking the same thing. I'm like watching, going.
They're like the evil stepmom and the evil stepsister and brother and sister.
She doesn't cook them and give them to Jennifer Coolidge. That went a little darker than that. That was
like the darker. It's like a twisted version of Cinderella story.
Also, I love that Bruce, when he was running with Selena and all, he grabs the money and he throws it all around. And he goes, "I'm not a thief." So he just throws the money to the people of Gotham. She goes, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "I'm not a thief. I just rescued him because he said I."
I mean, what is he, Joker? Jack Nicholson's Joker when he gives the money to Gotham?
Yeah. She goes, "I did save us enough for a burger."
I swear to God, I thought they were going to play the Prince song and cue that music of the Prince.
Trust. Yeah, I also like the thing. It was funny watching Harvey get lucky because he had to steal the tape, and Harvey's just like, you see a woman in her like bare bras and her out of the police hat look like a stripper cop, and she's like, yeah, he's touching her, and Corey was
that was a fucking weird ass scene. He tries to fuck that cop just to get that fucking evidence.
He's like,
tape.
All right, here. He says, here, just put the keys under the door. And he says, where are you going? He goes, I'm gonna go finish the job.
Oh my God.
Like Gordon just gives the look of, I should have packed my headphones for this.
I should have packed the noise canceling headphones.
And then Bullock actually finishes the job. And then that's when he gets in the car. Once Gordon's just sitting in the car waiting for him to get in, he puts his clothes back on. Bullock gets in the car and he's like, and then he plays the tape, which I thought I actually, he used a voice sensor. I was thinking,
the voice changer thing. It almost sound no. Do you know what it reminded me? Home Alone 2, when fucking Kevin McAllister was playing the tape. An extra credit card. Credit card.
Please.
I'd like to hold an extra room with the key.
I like Gordon going to help.
They took those from Home Alone 2. If you really fucking think about it.
I do like that Gordon going to Ed to help him because he trusts Ed. He's like, "Oh, Ed will help me." He goes ahead, and Ed's like, "Oh."
He heard the clock, but he heard the clock noise in the background, and he
I
had to
love
be
that.
sure, and he put that together before he entered that building.
He's like, which I like. He said, "Ed, I need your help," and he goes, "Oh," he said, "those sneaky devils." And like when he said that, I'm like, that doesn't seem suspicious. Whenever he goes, like he said, he said the RA they record everything, and he goes, "Those sneaky devils." And I was like, he said, "I'll help you, yeah." And he sits him and he sits there in the chair, and then all of a sudden, I love that Ed revealing himself when he hears the clock and everything. And then Ed puts it, which Gordon has put it all together by then. By the time Ed comes over there, and he's like, and then he hears the clock, and then he goes, "Why, Ed?" He goes, and then he's like, and then all of a sudden he goes, and he pulls a gun out, and he goes, "I'm going to tell you something that I knew that you know. I knew you suspected me."
And zaps him in the chair.
He electrocutes him. I'm surprised he's not in the fucking brain damage already. He got electrocuted in the chair.
It just made me reminds me of like in Batman Forever when Jim Carrey hits his boss with the coffee thing. Goes,
caffeine will kill ya.
Yeah, but last episode kind of ripped off Shawshank Redemption. This kind of ripped off Green Mile, if you think about it.
It did.
The only thing Gordon needed to say was, "I'm tired, boss."
Which I do like. He was hiding, like he said, he was trying to drag his body out, and then Eddie hid, and then Ed shot him, and then he's following. He says 2 words, KK. She's like Kristen Kringle. He's like,
those are.
All right, Ed, save your bullets, bro. Like literally, Ed, save your bullets.
It's not Chris Kringle.
Kristen Kringle.
Kristen Kringle.
I thought that was really great, and all of a sudden, like goes to Selena, and I look. Here's the thing I hated. How would he know where Selena and them lives?
Maybe a hunch?
Like, because he doesn't know where Selena lives, because Selena crashes around different places. So he just like goes to like, oh, I guess maybe.
I find it very funny whenever someone gets in the middle of when Gordon gets in the middle of the pickle, they in a situation they always go to the Wayne fucking mansion for sanctuary. It happens every goddamn time. Are you? No one's ever gonna bother to look in that mansion. So yeah, we got to go to the Wayne mansion.
It's like let's go to the mansion. It's far. I'll have to put on pants.
It's not even in the city limits, guys. That's like it's out of our jurisdiction. Even that's not even in our jurisdiction.
Apparently, it's out of their jurisdiction. Yeah, every time that Gordon gets into the shit and he gets wounded or gets chased by a bunch of criminals or the law, he ends up in the fucking Wayne mansion. Like no one's gonna try to follow him one day and try to track him.
And then wasn't Alfred? It was Bruce stitched him up and then called Alfred.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it wasn't great. Alfred
they practically patched him up. And that sewing jacket that they were brought that Bruce did for Selena's jacket, that was a little bit of a foreshadowing of making the sewing thing, the costume of the Catwoman, kind of like in Batman Returns, a little bit of a callback.
Which I do like though. He gets Selena to trick Harvey. He's like, because I said, "Where's the reward for Jim Gordon?" Harvey's like, "Selena, no." And then all of a sudden, Barnes is like, "Where do you know?" He says, "Yeah, he says, "I know where he's going. Where's my 10 grand?" He goes, "That's not a tip." He goes, "No," but he said he's going to the Penguin, find Penguin where he hid the bodies. And then Edward's just listening. And Edward goes to the law. Because he's talking to himself. He's like,
I'm surprised Selena did not get the 10 grand. She still didn't get the 10.
He's listening in like,
He's like sitting there listening. I was like, oh no. And then he goes to back there, and then he says, hey Jim. He goes, "I guess Penguin did. You did find the little bird." And he goes, "Nope, I just followed you." And then he's like, "Oh, sneaky devil." And he goes, "You sent Selena to trick me." Oh, and then he's all of a sudden, he's
confessing to everything. Like you literally, like
what? Here's the thing.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Nigma got a little very sloppy in that moment.
Nobody saw. Yeah, everybody followed him. His boss followed him. The SWAT team followed him. Bullet followed him. Selena followed.
But they were out in the middle of nowhere. How did they not spot any of those team coming in?
He didn't hear nobody run. I mean, there's a bunch of people around.
How did he not hear it? And you're literally right out in the open. You must be. What are you fucking the kids from Heavyweights when they hide in the fucking tree and you won't be able to spot that? And Vince, they're like, and there you cannot spot.
It's like everyone hide. Like,
Hide behind the tree, and no one's gonna see it heavyweight style.
and I like the fact though. Then he's like, and then he tries to run for it, and then he falls in the stuff.
Like you really just trying to run? You're outnumbered, dude. What the fuck are you doing?
Everyone points their guns. Even Jim has a gun at him. Everyone points their guns at him. And he's like,
Everybody has a gun at him, and he tries to run. Like, how are you gonna fucking outrun them?
like you. He just tries like, oh god. He says, I'm screwed now. And then so he's like, yeah, you're going to prison for the rest of your life, Edward.
Didn't he get transferred to Arkham? Because those are a lot of fucking loony. Like, what? Why?
He's insane.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna treat the mentally ill with the compassion, so they have to get him to the Arkham and not in Blackgate.
Do y'all think Edward's going to stay in prison?
Not for.
No.
I don't think so. No, it's not gonna last very long.
Not really. No.
The things I don't like about
I think he's gonna find a way to break out, and that's when he's now gonna announce himself as the Riddler, where now he's embracing being Riddler to the public and not secretly. That's my guess, and he's probably gonna meet with Oswald.
He will soon
be his partner in
embrace
crime.
his destiny. He'll soon embrace his destiny as the Riddler and annoy all of us in an Arkham game with his stupid challenges.
The Riddler. Not too
collecting,
soon,
fucking have Batman collecting trophies.
Yes. Here's the things I don't like about this episode. If Barnes suspects Bullock of helping Gordon, wouldn't he follow him to the safe house or his home? Just saying, like,
yeah. He should have suspected Bullock was trying to help him. He should have had his men follow him.
Also, wouldn't the woman that Harvey's about to bang hear him talking to somebody? Because she just goes in the bedroom and goes, Harvey, and he's like, here's the key. Says, I'm gonna go finish the job, and here's like, just put them under the door when you're done.
How did she not hear them?
Yeah. Also, no one heard Oswald's step family talk about confessing a murder at the church, or whether plan on killing Oswald, making it look like a suicide. They're at the church, and there are people around.
Yeah, and you're not even whispering. You're not even trying like whispering into the ear.
That just never. I'm like, you're at a church. Everyone can hear you at a church. Okay, even if you're whispering, they can hear it because it's a church. Also, wouldn't Edward know? Yeah, notice everybody. I'll put that. I just wish the Wayne Files thing, who murdered the Waynes, would just end already, because it's like a stupid reason with him like, oh, I can't. I got to solve the Waynes murder. I'm like, Matches Malone killed him, and then it's like, yeah, but I got to find out who did it, hired him.
He's got to find out who hired the assassin that killed the Wayne family.
Yeah.
I like. You've been holding off on that for so long. Now you want to get back on the fucking Wayne's murder all of a sudden that you've been sidetracked for fucking many episodes ago?
Because we need something to sidetrack for side plots.
Exactly. Like, this is that's kind of like a little bit of a
lazy
writing.
You can say,
to quote Deadpool, like, that's just lazy writing.
It feels like, yeah, because Lee, it's like, instead, oh, why don't you go for Lee? Instead, it's like, no, I'd rather.
Like, if you're going to try to go back on that whole murder case with the Wayne family, you should have started with that from the start. Don't just get sidetracked and doing other subplots and then completely lose track of what for the Wayne. Then it's just an afterthought.
And he's like, I don't want to do, go back to the GCPD. I'm going to wait. Yeah, but yeah, that's other than that. I mean, everything else I liked about this episode.
Yeah, what's your score?
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay, Matt?
I'm trying to think whether I like this episode a little bit more than the last one, because I know I ranted on the last episode. So I'll give it an 8 for this one. I'm going to say that coming to terms to talking about this now, the more I talk about it, the more I really appreciated that episode more than the other 2 episodes. So yeah, it's an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to go with Collins. I'll go 9. I really like this one, and I'm really loving this season. It's been a great time so far, and it's coming to an end. So,
what are the next 3 episodes?
And they're gonna make me pay $30 for season 3. So fuck off, HBO Max, you fucking
pricks. What are the next 3 episodes gonna be called?
Underneath the bridge.
The next 3 episodes is 18 Pinewood. The 19 episode is Azrael, and 20 is Unleashed. That's the next 3 episodes.
Wait, so
we know he's coming back.
Azrael and Unleashed.
Well, we know he's not. Well, we know he's not dead. We already know that. That's not a spoiler.
Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe that's the reason why they're like, "Hey, look, we can fix Gordon now because Azrael comes back. That's going to solve all our problems with Gordon right there."
So with 3 episodes,
he's right there.
So there's like there's a like we only got like there's 22 episodes of season 2. So we're for the next 3 episodes would be episode 18, 19, and 20. And then 21 will be the last 2 will be the second to the last
Wait,
episode.
let me look at the episodes again. Oh, hold on. So are we gonna do 2 next week and then 2 because he says is it gonna
Yeah,
be
I think we should cover. No, I do agree with you. I think we should cover 2 episodes with episode 18
Pinewood
and
and
19.
Nashville?
Yeah.
And then
then
and then
next
the other
week-
week will be Unleashed, which is 20 and 21. And
and
then
then the finale will be a watch party.
yeah, the finale
Yes.
will be the watch party for 20
Okay, so
episode
next
22.
week's 2 episodes. Okay.
Yeah, we'll cover 2 episodes.
Yeah, and yeah,
So-
you know what? I'm excited for Azrael episode. I like that one. I remember.
Yeah, we already know that Galavan is going to be coming back as Azrael. We know that's going to bound to happen. It was inevitable because they've already shown that he's still alive and that Hugo Strange is fucking keeping his ass alive in that fucking like in a tube in that fucking bath of that tube thing.
Well, what did you think of these 3 episodes, though? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to read what you have to say. And it is a privilege to do this show with these guys every week. Collins, where can the people find you?
At your mom's house. They can find me at 3D Movie Cinema, where I will literally be tomorrow night. We'll do Peacemaker, where these guys and Big Dick will be joining us for our final, the season finale watch party, where we will cover the last episode. Hopefully, it sticks the landing on everything and it wraps everything up. Fingers crossed, because that is a big if. Because this is like if it doesn't, some people I know people are pissed. But yeah, I got that coming up, and then of course I got my 2 reviews with. By the time this airs, my reviews will have dropped for The Burbs and for Jeepers Creepers with Stephanie. And then, of course, these guys will be joining me in a couple of weeks where we'll be doing like Black Phone, and then I believe Ryan's what movie?
Halloween Resurrection.
Halloween Resurrections, yeah. And so and then just follow me 3D Movie Cinema, YouTube.com.
All right, Matt, what about you?
You can find my YouTube channel at MattWyan92. By the time you watch this video, my review for Tron Ares will already be up on my channel. And I'll be joining Ryan and Jake as we will be doing the season 2 finale of Peacemaker, which I'm really fucking excited and I can't believe it's already almost over from season 2.
I know
The month went by so quickly.
I just now I guess the reason why now it's over because that way it can come on.
Yep. So Welcome to Derry. Yeah, Welcome to Derry will be coming up next after Peacemaker season 2, which I'm excited to watch that show. And yeah, that's just about it.
I saw what you did, you son of a bitch.
But when he brought up with the horror events that I will be joining Jake, we'll be talking about the Black Phone 2. No, not the Black Phone 2, the first Black Phone movie.
Well, all their links will be down below. Go give them a subscribe. As far as this channel goes, Scary Mania 6 continues on. Thank you all so much for the love it's been getting. Shout out to Kyle from Flet's Movies and Pop Culture for 13 for joining me for Poltergeist. Shout out to Jay Burns for joining me to cover Scanners. And in the coming days, I'll be reviewing Curtains, Jaws 3D, House of the Long Shadows, Soul Survivor, Night of the Comet. I'll be joined by Chadwick Webb for that. And The Toxic Avenger. I'll be joined by Steve Mason for that. So thank you all so much for
son of a bitch.
Thank you so much for checking out the ones that have been out, and thank you for the ones that will be coming soon. And then Talking Gotham, of course, every Tuesday. I got big plans for Christmas, and I've got a mini series planned for November. One that I didn't really think I wanted to do, but then as I turned it over in my head, I'm like, that sounds like fun. I might as well do that. So stay tuned for all of that. But for Jabe Collins, for Matt Wyatt, my name is Ryan Camp. Stay off the streets of Gotham. It is not safe out there. You all have a good one.